welcome to another exciting edition of Best MTG Decks Ever. I am your host, Joseph, and today I've got a deck for you I call Old Farmer Cotton, Polished Jank deck. So, let's look at the commander. Jump right in here. So, Farmer Cotton. When Farmer Cotton enters the battlefield, create X 1/1 white halfling creature tokens and X food tokens. Pretty simple. We've just got in the command zone a way to create a bunch of tokens and create a bunch a bunch of creature tokens and a bunch of artifact tokens, food tokens specifically. So the deck that I built, it is Jank, Polished Jank, and we are running a lot of ramp. We've got all of the mana dorks inside here. We've got all the 2-cost spells for getting mana. We got Sakura, Farseek, Into the North, Nature's Lore, Rampant Growth, 3 visits. Then we've got a bunch of 3-cost ramp, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Nisa's Pilgrimage. There's just a lot of ramp inside here. Some of the we also have a lot of draw, and basically what we want to do is we want to ramp out hard. We want to be able to draw a bunch of cards so that we can use all the mana that we've got to do a bunch of things. And ultimately, our goal is to cast Farmer Cotton and create a ton of tokens, and then maybe do some shenanigans and get some infinite stuff going on, if possible, and just win by doing stuff like that. So, let's look at a couple of key cards in the deck. Academy Manufactor works really well with the commander because if you would create a food token, you also create a clue and a treasure token. So if you create 12, if you cast Farmer Cotton and X equals 12, well, you also get 12 clues and 12 treasures, which is a ton of value. We've got a bunch of cards that allow you to play off the top of your deck and play lands and stuff, play additional lands. We've got more ramp, more of that playing lands off the top of your deck. We are running, so this is higher than almost any deck that I ever run. We've got 36 or 35 lands, 36 if you're including Balagad Recovery, and we can just play them off the top of the library. We need a lot of basics because a lot of our spells are getting basics. Playing additional lands. So here's the next one. Jaheira, Friend of the Forest, works really well with the commander. So let's go back to X equals 12 again. We cast the commander. We get 12 1/1 halflings. We get 12 food tokens. If Jaheira, Friend of the Forest, is on the board, tokens you control have tap to get green mana. So that means those 12 food tokens now can net you 12 green mana. This card's bonkers. So Academy Manufactor, Jaheira, a lot of times these is what we are tutoring for. And speaking of tutors, we've got a ton of tutors. We're running Invasion of Ikoria, Green Sun's Zenith, Natural Order, Worldly Tutor, Eladamri's Call, Court of Calling. There's a bunch. Maybe I missed one or two or something. But yeah, we're running a bunch. Scoot Swarm. This is one of those cards where I've kind of thought about getting rid of it. It's just kind of there because it just creates so many tokens. And with a deck like this where we're pulling so many basics from our library, this could get a ton of value. Tireless Provisioner is, just giving us treasure tokens, and this kind of will help us ramp and can kind of play into some of the other strategies and stuff that we have. Topiary Stomper is just getting lands. Wood Elves is lands. So Beast Whisper is like our one of our draw engines. Mondrak, if one or more tokens will be created under your control, twice that many tokens are created. So this is one of several things that we use to double tokens. So we've got Mondrak, we've got Unbound Flourishing, Anointed Procession, Parallel Lives, and Doubling Seasons. So we have a lot. If you've got 2 of those on the board, you're going to be creating a ton of tokens. Back up over here, Oracle Modaya is more just play off the top of your library. Temur Sabertooth. This is one of the next big creatures that matters a lot. So you can use Temur Sabertooth with Farmer Cotton to possibly do stuff like go infinite. So let's say that you have Jaheira on the board, okay? You cast Farmer Cotton, and you do X equals 6. So you create 6 food tokens, and now those can be tapped for green mana. You tap 2 of those to return Farmer Cotton to your hand, and then you can cast them a bunch more times. Now you will need to get that one white mana from somewhere, so you might not be able to go infinite with this. There are other ways we can go infinite, but you might not be able to go infinite, but you could probably cycle it a few times. Like, well, you could cycle it as many times as you have white mana available to you. Elish Norn. This is another doubling thing. So if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers additional time, so it just doubles the amount of tokens. Cultivator Colossus. This one I might take out of the deck, but since we're running so many lands, and I find a lot that I have a lot of lands in my hand, you cast this, play a land, draw a card, play a land, draw a card, play a land, draw a card, and you can, if you get lucky, you can cycle through a ton of cards and just ramp out like crazy. Nyx Bloom Ancient, amazing for this deck if it sticks on the board. And then Craterhoof Behemoth is like a finisher. Let's see. Oh, yeah. One of the other tutors that I missed was Finale of Devastation, which is another finisher. Harmonize for draw. That's more ramp. This is draw, so Shamanic Revelation. Draw a card for each creature you control. So this would be like a follow-up play to dropping Cotton on the battlefield. Okay, moving right along. We've got some artifacts. We've got Mana Crypt, Soul Ring. They're just like the best artifacts to put in there. Now, we've got some interesting cards. Panharmonicon is another thing that doubles tokens. But let's focus on Phyrexian Altar and Krark Clan Ironworks. So we can use these to go infinite with our commanders. Now the weakness is that we're in green and white, so it's really hard for us to find artifacts since we don't have blue. The only tutor that we have for that is Enlightened Tutor. Maybe I'll find, I don't know if white has anything else that finds artifacts. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to check. But with Phyrexian Altar and Krark on the board, you can cast the commander and then, say it's like X equals 10 or something, okay? So you get 10 food tokens and then 10 halflings. You can sack the halflings with the Phyrexian Altar, getting whatever mana color that you need, white and green. You can sack all of the food tokens to get 2 colorless mana. So what you do is you sack them all, you get a ton of mana. So like your 10 food tokens becomes 20, your 10 halfling tokens become 5 white and 5 green or whatever. You can sack your commander, he goes back to the command zone, and then you would recast him. So 1 green, 1 white. So then you'd have 8 mana plus the 20. So then you would do he comes in and do 28. And then you're going to have 28 food, 28 halflings, sack them all again. And you just keep doing that. And you can go infinite food tokens, infinite halfling tokens, infinite mana, infinite ETBs, infinite death triggers. So yeah, that's cool. I need to figure out some ways to make that a little bit more reliable. We've got Meticulous Excavation. Meticulous Excavation works by putting your commander back into your hand, and then you can cast them again and keep doing that over and over as long as you can get green mana. Phyrexian Altar can help a lot with that. Aura Shards, this is like one of the only removal spells that I'm running in here. So you just plop that on the board and cast your commander and wipe out all of your opponent's artifacts and enchantments in one go. We've got Guardian Project for draw and Zendikar Resurgent for ramp and draw. So that is the deck, and I will do a follow-up video where I do some play tests with it so you can see how it all works. But this deck is really fun, really cool. Hope you guys enjoy it, and see you in the next video.